And another example of just physically capturing, storing the information. Um, and this again is via symbols, words, numbers, just like the cuneiform was. The Quipu, I don't think used words, but maybe it did. I guess it did. I'm not sure we really know how to translate those. But so for hundreds of years, pen and ink and paper were used. Uh, Modern paper is made from trees, and, uh, and paper, and these days was too. At one point, paper was animal skins. Vellum was called. Monks wrote on that in the Middle Ages. Um, but what we're talking about is kind of a history of capturing data, holding the information, saving it and holding it so it can be looked up and referred to again and again. Here's pen and ink. This now is 1910. This is the U.S. Census. How often do we do the census in the United States? Does anybody know? It's every 10 years. We just did one in 2020. It's in our Constitution that we take a census of everyone living in the United States every 10 years. It's become a very exhaustive process, and a lot of it is web-based now, but there are still people who go around door to door asking questions of the people who live in the apartment or the house or whatever the case may be. So this is and congressional Congress people, numbers of Congress people are based on this. Federal spending is influenced by the census. It's a very important thing that's done in this country. Um, so it's now, of course, a computer. It really is a real database on the computer. But for many, many hundreds of years, it was handwritten in a ledger book like this. Now, I can't read all the titles, but I can see there's a state, there's a county up on the upper left. It looks like someone has signed, somebody Williamson, something town, maybe Williamstown, I'm not sure. But then we have all this information, which we can't, I'm sorry to say, even read. But this was how data were saved via recording symbols on paper, on clay, with strings. And of course, then after World War II, after Alan Turing, um, and The Imitation Game. Hopefully you've seen that. It's a wonderful film about Alan Turing. Brilliant man. In fact, the Turing Prize is still given every year. It's a very esteemed prize given to someone in technology and computer science every year. So early computers used these cards with digits and holes punched to record information. So there was a physical, um, something physical, okay, piece of paper again, that's holding the information. But then this information actually is fed into the computer, and the computer saves the information in its own way, in its own brain, electronically. Okay, and of course, this is what we do now. Um, I'm not quite, I put this slide in here. I pulled this from the internet. Um, we're going to talk about the cloud in a minute. I have a feeling this slide belongs a little later in the presentation because we're going to talk about storage in a minute. So I'm going to kind of skip over this for now. I apologize. Uh, that's encrypted information. Uh, okay, so modern databases are on computers. No more cards, paper cards. We use keys, as you know, and we can use our voices to capture data. And let's talk a little bit about storage. It's a very important factor in terms of what's going on with databases. How many photos are uploaded every day onto Facebook? How many total photos are stored on Facebook? Could you Google that where you're sitting there, each of you? Google these questions and see what you got. How much data does Amazon Prime store? Now, here are expressions of amounts of information. You know, we should know that a byte is a single character. 10 bytes is a single word. Kilobytes, 1,000 characters. It's a short story. It's a typewritten page. A megabyte is 1,000 bytes. 2 megabytes is a high resolution photograph. 5 megabytes is the complete works of Shakespeare in text, or 30 seconds of a TV quality video. 500 megabytes, so 500 million bytes, is a CD-ROM, or the hard disk of a PC, right? Let's keep going, folks. Gigabyte is a 1 billion bytes. It's a pickup truck filled with paper, or a symphony in high fidelity sound, or a movie at TV quality. That's 1 gigabyte. 100 gigabytes is a floor of academic journals. A terabyte, which is a trillion bytes, is the printed, 10 terabytes is the printed collection of the U.S. Library of Congress. A petabyte, which is used quite a lot for mass data storage. 200 petabytes is all printed material. How about that? Exabyte is the biggest that I know of. 5 exabytes, all words ever spoken by human beings. So how much does Facebook store? 2.5 billion pieces of content and 500 terabytes of data each day. Let's go back to terabyte. 500 terabytes each day. It's pulling in 2.7 billion like actions and 300 million photos per day. Scans roughly 105 terabytes of data each half hour. Where is that stored? Where is it? They have their own data warehouse, which they call Hive. They generate 4 new petabytes of data per day. Now, we're going to look at where data are stored. As you can see, Facebook has tens of thousands of servers because data are stored on servers. They also store data, mostly the photos, with other companies. Akamai is a famous one. Dedicated data center in Oregon holds older photos in a cold storage system. So there are different levels of storage for data. No generators or electrical, on-demand electrical systems that can house up to an exabyte of data. Look at this. Analysis of Facebook traffic found that 82% of traffic was focused on 8% of photos. Big data needs to be dissected to understand access patterns. Yeah. All right. So every company that's storing data has a tiered different levels of storage based on priority, hot, warm, and cold storage. Okay. Glacier cold storage from Amazon is cheap, but it takes a long time to get the files. Okay. You can read what's going on here. Data storage center. Uninterruptible power supply is what UPS is. It has no uninterruptible power supply. Cheap. So this is again Facebook with 15 data center locations, but they're not just in the US. In fact, if you look up what country has the most Facebook users, go ahead and Google it. You'll see it's India. So they've got storage in India. So folks talk about storing data in the cloud. Whoop. It's a great marketing stuff. Cloud storage. Cloud storage. Okay. The leader in cloud storage in the world is AWS, Amazon Web Services. And the guy who used to run Amazon Web Services, Andy Jassy, is now running Amazon since Jeff Bezos retired to his yacht, I guess. But the other big players, Microsoft, Google, IBM, Oracle, also have cloud storage that they sell to other companies. So Amazon got so good at storing data, they decided to turn it into a business and offer data storage capability to other companies. And if you look on the right here, you'll see Amazon Web Services, AWS, 63% of Amazon's operating income in 2020. See if they'll let me do this. And third quarter, 71% of operating income. It's not the store. They make more money from storing data. They make more profit because the profit is 80, 90% profit. The income is mostly profit for this. Okay. I'm going to take a look at this website, I hope, if it'll let me. Let's see if I can stop. Stop this thing. Just bear with me. I'm going to stop this. Let's just go to this. I hope we can go to this website now. Now it's bloody not letting me do it. Dang it.